So you've probably been told you can't use soil in an aquaponics system. Well, today I'm going to blow that myth, show you a very simple little build for a balcony system, and give you a couple of suggestions on setting up larger soil beds to a bigger aquaponics system. Now this little flow through wicking bed is going on to a deck system. That little deck system has actually already been made, so if you want to suss that out, you can check out this little video here. So this little flow through wicking bed is just a little balcony container. Anything would be suitable to use. I like this one because I thought the legs were going to be tall enough, but unfortunately they weren't. So I had to work out some sort of stand to put them on. The soil bed is sitting on an old IBC cage. Quite obviously the legs that came with the planter aren't quite tall enough for this little fish tank. This is actually the original stand for our moving bed bioreactor and radial flow settler on our first system. I've given it a nice decent paint job now, so it's nice and brown, blends in a little bit better. Now onto the build for the soil bed itself. It's basically going to be a flow through wicking bed. To begin with, we need a false bottom in here. I had a couple of ideas. I was playing around with using stainless steel mesh and then setting it up on some little legs, but I decided no, I really want that stainless steel mesh for something else. The other option I had was to use some slotted ag pipe that we use as a reservoir in wicking barrels and beds, but I decided that they will stand a little bit too tall. They're about 100 mil or 4 inches in diameter. So I went with another piece of recycled wicking bed reservoir, and that was sections of old bread crate from a wicking bed that I had pulled down last year. So with this section of bread crate, all I did was trim the sides down using a jigsaw just to make sure it fit in the base of the wicking bed. And then I also created a couple of holes so we could have the sand wicks going down into the reservoir come up through the base of the grate. Now I've used some PVC pipe here, and what that does is it actually helps the base stay off the ground, and also drilled some holes in there as well, so that will allow water to go on the inside of these little sections of pipe and wick up through the sand, which will be held back by geotextile, so we have enough water coming up into the soil layer. So I didn't have to go for PVC legs. I just went with it because I had those offcuts laying around. You could use small little pots like this or a net cup if you so choose to. Just basically something that would be sturdy enough to take the weight of the soil and the grate that would be sitting on top. So that's pretty much the base there. As for an outlet, what I've decided to use is some 15 mil or 1/2 inch PVC pipe fittings. Drilled a hole in there nice and tight so I could screw the fitting through. The hole I drilled for this fitting was very tight, so I basically had to cut a thread with the PVC fitting, and I could have just left that be, but I decided to pop another O-ring and another fitting on the inside as well, just to make sure that if it gets bumped or knocked around and that thread becomes loose, we're not going to have any water leaking out from that little outside area there. And on the outside there, all I'm going to do is push in this 90-degree elbow with some sections of pipe in it, and that water will just drain directly down into the fish tank itself. Now I do like having the drain low on the garden bed itself because it means there is a air gap between the water and the base of the soil. That'll help stop the formation of any anaerobic zones in the reservoir because there'll be fresh water and oxygen flowing through there all the time. Now I've actually put this grate in the wrong way around, and the reason for that is I need a little space in the grate here for this in tube. It's just basically a little bit of 1 inch or 25 mil irrigation pipe, poly pipe, and I've chopped out some slots in the base to allow the water to drain down into the reservoir. Just to show you on this pipe, I have drilled some holes there, and over on this container we have some holes as well to receive a zip tie. The main reason being is I would like it in place, and if people come along and decide to play around with this, they may potentially move the pipe or pull it out and cause issues. So we're just going to pop that zip tie through there, and I always drill the hole in the pipe higher than where it's going through the container, and that way it's always pulled down. So this might be a little bit tricky from this angle, but we'll see how we go. Oh yeah, no, we've got him nice and tight. So there we go, that's not going anywhere. I just wanted to let you folks know that I do have that Backyard Aquaponics Beginner's Guide available again. It is an online video-based guide, $19.95 US, link down in the description. I'm constantly adding bits and pieces every month or so at the moment, and when we get a new system I'll be doing complete build videos that will be added to the guide. But anyway, it's for sale again for you folks who have been waiting. $19.95, link below. That's enough trying to pay the bills. Now we'll keep going with the system. So obviously going to need something on that grate to stop the sand and soil falling through. So what I'll be using is this landscape fabric or geotextile. It's used all around the world just to hold back earthen banks and that sort of thing, separate different layers of soil. So this is just going down in here, and I'll be pushing little extra sections down through these little gaps, and basically just forming it around the side like that. And what will happen is the soil will keep the fabric up against the side, so none of it falls through. So just try and make sure there's a nice amount in there. So now we're ready to put the wicking medium in, which is going to be basically this coarse sand. I use it in the wicking beds down the back. It's as easy as tipping it in, really. I'm going to try and stop Jack from bumping the camera again, and just popping it down in those holes there. So it goes all the way down to the base, and then I will be putting a layer all over this geotextile as well. Pop the rest in there. The main reason I put this sand in here is it just also helps to wick the water out as well as up. So we hopefully get a nice even wicking action from these two spots here. So I have two lots of soil I'm going to be putting in here. This first lot is brand new premium potting mix that I've purchased. It's full of organic matter, so it's going to be really good at wicking the soil up. And this second lot here is recycled soil from the old veggie pod down the back. It's got a load of perlite in there. I'm really just trying to stretch out the soil mix in here. I figure there will be more than enough nutrient within these two blends to get the plants going, plus there will be added nutrients coming through the aquaponics water as well. It's trying to make sure this pushes out against the side there. Get that out nice and firm. There we go. Put some of this recycled in now, out around the sides. And to that I'll be adding in some of this activated rock minerals that we use. It's called Veggie Mate. I'll put a link down in the description. It's got some bacteria in there as well, which help make those elements available to the plants. And I think I'll pretty much all fill the rest up with the good potting mix. Just add a little bit more on top, and I think that should pretty much well be it. Don't want to overdo it too much, or spill too much of it into the little aquaponics system there either. This bed also has a little brace here for the center, just to keep it all together, so we'll pop that in. Just stops the center from bowing out. So there we go. There we have the bed filled up and ready to go. The little valve assembly that runs into the soil bed was pretty easy. It's basically two 90-degree elbows pushed together using a little section of pipe in the middle, and then another section of pipe with a valve at the end to help control the inflow. So the next thing I'm going to do is put the inlet in here for the soil bed. I've actually made it so that barb sticks underneath the zip tie so it doesn't fall out easily, and it also has a valve on it to control the flow. So we're just going to push this fitting through into the irrigation line and set it up down through the back here and have this just pushed down in there. So I think I might actually zip tie this on here as well, just a bit of added security. There we go. Make it harder for this to come out. So now I can cut this line here pretty much all around about there and connect that into the pump line like so. These fittings really do make building little systems like this easy. Now I was also installing a little DIY Dutch bucket into this build at the same time, so I'm not going to show that here, but if you would like a quick little video looking at that, let us know in the comment section below and I'll knock it together and post it to the channel soon. And now we're ready to turn the pump on. And away we go. So there we go, we've got the water flowing there. I'll turn this on. That will probably be all we need. Pop him down, make sure he catches. And it shouldn't be too long before we see water coming down through the drain. There we go. That flow's increased quite a bit, so I'm just going to turn it off a little bit, because we really don't need a lot of water coming through. All we need is enough water to hit that sand and slowly wick up into the soil level. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with how it's going. Just quickly, for you folks who would like a larger flow through aquaponics or hydroponic wicking bed for your system, the video I mentioned earlier, linked down below the description, it would be a great place to start, I think, because it has a nice big void down the bottom. Sand wicks up around the sides of the crate and through a central wicking point. You would, of course, have to connect it to your aquaponic system. This is just a standalone one. And to give you some ideas on how that could be done, I will link a mate of mine, Larry's videos. Thank you very much, mate. He uses the corrugated slotted drainage pipe I mentioned earlier on in the video, and then uses a cover over the top with some volcanic rock and adds a soil blend on top, and that recirculates round a sump that is in the floor of his greenhouse. So Larry's had these beds in for around about 7 years now, and the only maintenance he really does with them is turning the soil and topping it off with fresh soil occasionally. He has had to blow air back through the pipes to clear out a few roots that have gotten in there, but he's also said if he was to build them again, he wouldn't use the 3/4 inch or 20 mil PVC pipe. He'd probably go with an 1.5 inch or 40 mil pipe to connect the different beds. But you know, 7 years and still going strong, you've got to be happy with that. Now, as for plants, we have a selection, we have thyme. First off, I think we'll plant a thyme over this side here because they grow fairly low. And obviously we don't need to wash off the soil with these guys. Just pop them down there, press them down firmly, and away we go. And we also have some sweet basil and some flat leaf Italian parsley, which I think I might plant out first. I'm just going to plant out one cell of the parsley. I'm just going to plant it over in this side here because they can get pretty rambunctious. And then we will do some basil sowings, or plantings, I should say. So where these wicking beds really come into their own, I think, are with root crops, not necessarily the herbs I'm planting out here. Things like carrots, potatoes, gingers, if you have them off to the side of your system, they're not taking up valuable, fast-growing media bed space where you can really pump out your greens. I've also made up rudimentary wicking beds using pouches filled with soil for some slow-growing plants like turmeric, ginger, and potatoes. Just had them off to one side from the system, and they've grown some fantastic plants, and I'll pop some videos to those as well down under the description of this video. Actually, we have some spare lemon balm, so I might pop this over here because it makes for a nice cuppa as well. There we go, so that's pretty much, well, that bed there planted out. So this little system ended up having a native eel tail catfish or Tandanus catfish running the show. And I can tell you what, the growth this little soil bed put on, as well as the rest of the system, was very impressive indeed. So you may not know this about me, but I really love growing in soil as well as aquaponics, and I have a whole playlist full of wicking soil beds. There will be a little link that pops up towards the end and also down under the description. That may give you a couple of ideas if you want to connect something like this into an aquaponics, and I do hope that Larry's videos have helped a few folks out with ideas as well. But I will pretty much leave it there. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this on aquaponics or our farm or gardening in general. And yeah, hopefully YouTube will give you a notification once they're posted to the channel. But I'll stop rambling on. Hope you all have a fantastic one, and I'll catch you next video. Cheers, folks. Happy growing.